You're watching another edition of Campus Debate. I'm Sana Khan. The topic of today's discussion is the role of social media significantly increasing in shaping how the youth thinks and how they're involved in politics? I'm at the renowned MIT campus in Pune, and the students here who join me are from various courses over here. It's a huge campus, mind you, and the students over here, we're hoping will indulge in speaking their mind and telling us what they think about today's discussion. Well, let me first start by asking you, how many of you think that you guys are in tune today more with what's happening in politics of today because of social media? Anyone who wants to start by answering that? Yeah.
Ma'am, presently if you talk, most of the people, youngsters, they are in FB, Twitter, they are using this and they come to know about the politician. If you talk about Modi, his main strategy is to clutch youngsters from social network. He's using this social media as his party key.
Do you follow BJP or any other leader, Narendra Modi on Twitter?
Yeah, I follow Narendra Modi.
Okay.
I like this page. I come to know most of his whatever his plans, where he's going for campaign. I come to know from Facebook only.
Okay. Anyone else? If you can also tell us about some of the politicians that you actively follow on, let's say, Twitter or Facebook.
Hello, I'm Ayush. I strongly believe that social media is evolving very highly from last 2 years, starting from print media to electronic to social media to Facebook to Twitter. We get very easily the information and the knowledge from social media. We are not able to read newspaper daily. We might not be able to view the news, watch the TV daily. But yes, on our mobiles, on our cell phones, on our laptops, we can easily get information from the internet. And it is very effective. There are some times when media gets blackouts on some news, like Anna Hazare's fast, Aam Aadmi Party. Media may not be able to cover for some reasons. So there lies the medium, social media, which helps people to know about their activities, their efforts for the society.
Right. Yeah, please go ahead.
Ma'am, as we know that Twitter, Facebook and the politicians like Modi, Kejriwal have been tweeting about any incident. If some incident happens, we get to know about
what kind of incident?
Like when Nirbhaya happened.
Okay.
We got to know about many opinions about politicians by Twitter only. Which politician thinks what. And due to that, we got to know recently that Rahul Gandhi is planning a huge uproar in social media. He's planning to interact to youth or get in touch with youth through social media. As we speak of Modi, on Twitter, on Facebook, every social media part, he is very active. That's how he got more uproar. Whenever there was any incident happening in the country related to budgets or the upcoming elections, he was very active in tweeting, commenting and interacting with youth and basically targeting a youth opinion. So that's how it's very important, and that's why we see Kejriwal, Mr. Shishodia from Aam Aadmi Party participating very actively in the social medias.
Right. So essentially, it does seem that the politicians have realized the power of social media and they're now willing to tap that resource, especially during election time. We saw the assembly elections just held recently, and social media, one can say, did play a key part in that. But give us a sense of what you think can be let's say one is writing a blog about something, and let's say you're a youth and you're interested in politics. If you write a blog, what do you think is the reach of that blog? Any one of you who writes a blog here? Or any of your friends who write a blog? Okay, you give us a sense of when you write a blog, what are the issues that you take up with, and how many friends or colleagues of yours do go and read it and leave comments?
In blog, there are separate sections. Whichever topic I like, I can discuss with eminent person also, because it is not possible to cover each and every moot piece through the television or print media. You have to wait for 24 hours for print media. But in social media, if I put the description regarding any kind of incident in woman or something related to political, like elections are 8 months away. So I can raise my voice, or I can raise the like option. It's like if you like their comment, it's like okay, I'm
So
supporting
time
his
is
comment.
certainly not a factor. You can do it when
Yes.
you like, and you don't have to wait. And also
Yes,
because
exactly.
you guys tell me, what do you feel about the fact that time? She raised an important point that when you're talking about some news item, why is it that social media today is the place where you get that news or that information first? What do you think is working for the social media? Let me put it that way. Anyone who wants to talk on that, yeah. Your name, please. And
Hi, this is Mahesh. I would like to say about the BJP particularly, because when last time in the last 5 years BJP loses its election, at that time right before losing
yeah.
that election, what the Modi did is he started to use social media into the election. He was the first person to use the social media into the election. Till that point to today, he has what we can say, he has been advertised his projects, and right now the Congress is being copying his items and selling that we are like this. But for the BJP, what kind of BJP is right now, at what situation? This situation is only because of Modi, I can say. And
Okay.
from
So-
5 crore to 20 crore youths are nowadays using the internet. From
So
this
some
point.
leaders thought ahead and got into social media before the others. Yes.
Hi, this is Manas. I personally follow Narendra Modi, but everyone cannot get on the social media.
Why
So people who
Because
don't,
you're saying limitations of
Yeah,
internet and
limitation,
24 hours connectivity.
and people who are not using this, and the reaching people has very decreased because
Okay.
of this, because of social media. Each and every politician has started this, so
Okay.
they are not reaching out to the people.
But the news is still there, and the newspapers
News
are
is still there, but it's for who are using it.
Okay.
It's not for them who are not using it.
So it is the opinions that are there on these social media websites. Then there is freedom of speech. We'll be talking more about that, and also the flip side of being on social media and taking an issue as serious as politics. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back. You're watching Campus Debate. We are talking about how social media has made the youth of today more involved in politics or not. We are discussing right that. In this segment, we'll try and talk about the antithesis, that how, because of freedom of speech in our country, in elsewhere, even outside the country, people can go on these social media websites and just post whatever they like, be it abusive or be it highly opinionated, and how it actually deters some of these politicians and political parties and individuals as such to not come on these social media websites and be a part of this revolution that we are seeing. I think you have a point.
I think whatever they post, it's the truth. That is what they think. Common people. So yeah, they can be abusive. That is the flip side. That is the only flip side, I think. But they are raw. It's the raw truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, political leaders get to know the truth at least. Like if we go out somewhere, speak on the camera, they can track our personal identities. But on social media, it's quite difficult, and I think that's why social media is good to post our opinions. Except for they can be abusive.
Would
Otherwise
any one of
nothing.
you feel that it's okay for you to be on a social media website and, write a highly, A-rated comment, if I can say that, bad words, use of wrong words, and get away with it? Do you think, or do you know of your friends who've done that and who constantly do that and who are very opinionated and have strong opinions about themselves? Yeah.
Okay, in terms of freedom of speech and expression in the Indian Constitution, but we can highlight the issue that two girls where they got arrested. Okay, regarding the Bal Thackeray issues.
Yeah.
I just want to know what they did and what was wrong in that case. I mean, just the traffic issues and related to that religion issues, no one can be arrested. I mean, if we call this, okay, freedom of speech and expression, we can express and we can speak anything about any topic. I mean, it's a lay sentence, I think. I mean, there was no abusive sentence, or else regarding the corruption also we can speak, because Right to Information Act is practicing in today's life. तो obviously हम लोग जान सकते हैं कि क्या चल रहा है, उसके ऊपर हम लोग कन्वर्सेशन कर सकते हैं, लेकिन आफ्टर दैट हम लोग जब करते हैं फेसबुक पे या ट्विटर पे, उसके अगेंस्ट केस होता है, उसके अगेंस्ट ऐसा होता है, तो फिर फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन एंड स्पीच का क्या मीनिंग रहा?
Right. So there are some elements that actually work that way. Yes.
I would not fully agree with the lady what she said. She said she took the incident of Mr. Bal Thackeray and the comment written by the ladies. I would say it was in somehow benefit for them. It hurted many of the feelings of the supporters of Shiv Senas and Bal Thackeray. What do you say if they go to their houses and throw stones and abuse them? It was for the safety. You can consider as a security measures taken by the police by arresting them. What if people go and throw the stones on them? What do you say then?
Okay, so you're saying that was a safety measure. That lady over there wants to talk. Yeah. That's what he said, right? That they wanted to protect.
Yeah, I'm Debati. And when it comes to these things, I think it's a case of defamation. You cannot literally defame a person on a social networking site. Like, without knowing all these things, like what is the reason behind these happenings and everything, we just cannot comment. Because, in fact, I guess the general public, or I don't know, whoever, some big shot, I don't know whoever it is, but even somewhere we are we are responsible for misusing the social networking site.
Okay, now I think we are digressing from the main issue over here. The topic is how the youth is getting more involved in politics. Now, if I can point out some of the recent cases, like you had the Nirbhaya case, you had the Muzaffarnagar case, you had, how the state government reacted when the floods happened in Uttarakhand. So, do you people think that social media is doing its bit in sensitizing people and in pressurizing these politicians to act in time? Anyone wants to talk about this?
Hi, I'm Akshta, and I believe because of this social interaction that have been done on social media, especially Twitter for that matter, people can tell the politicians, okay, this is what we want, like in the time of Uttarakhand or anything, or we know, okay, this is what the politicians are doing. Like there was news of Narendra Modi going to Uttarakhand, bringing the people of Gujarat back. So people oppose that. Okay, you cannot do that. So that is
people express their anger.
Yeah, they express their anger. They express what they want. So it is very easy for the people as a whole, like for the masses, to convey their message, and that builds up a lot of pressure on the politicians. So okay, this is what they want, and if we don't do this, they will not vote. Okay. So somewhere it reflects.
Anyone else wants to add to that? Yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Rasika. I just want to give an instance of the Nirbhaya case. While people are protesting for her rights and whatever happened to it, the government, that is the reason why the fast track courts were, put up on a really faster basis. And plus, there were people who actually protested on field in Delhi, all over the country, even on a global level. Exactly. Yeah. Protests were happening on field, but that does not mean the people who could not come on the field could not protest. They were sitting at home and protesting in disguise through the social media. And that is how along with the people who protested on field, as well as the people who protested through Facebook and Twitter and all those sites, all together made the case more important, vital.
Yeah. And it became bigger. So, a lot of recent cases we have talked about. I would, after this break, I'm going to come to that side and take more opinions from the people in that corner, the students. But in the last segment, we're going to be talking about the future of social media and how things can change. Maybe there's a need for regulation, maybe there's need for more funding to get people access more internet. All that and much more after the break. So has the social media done enough in a country to sensitize the youth of what's happening in the world of politics? In this segment, we talk about the future of social media in the country vis-a-vis people getting to know more getting to know more about politics and getting more involved in politics. I want to ask you if, being more on these social media websites, more of the youth will help us in being more sensitized as a youth, a more, a more knowledgeable, populace, so to speak, or make us more cynical about what's happening. Also, what I'm asking is, being more on these social media websites, does it really make a difference in making us more knowledgeable of what's happening around us? Because we must remember that a lot of people are still not, they don't have mobile internet all the time. Many people just have internet at home, which makes it, not accessible when they're not at home. And many of our country's population does not have even the basic internet access. So in these times, you as youth, what do you suggest can happen to bring more internet to people, to make them, more sensitized? Perhaps the politicians, we can hope, could give the money, to make their campaigns more successful. Any one of you would like to talk on that? Yeah.
If the one person knew about it, so they used to make communicate between them, and because
spread it by word of mouth.
but by word of mouth, and it created a great impact on the mind of the people, and we can see the result today. The credit all it goes to social media, according to me.
Do you, then let me also ask you, do you think if, the Congress and the BJP had campaigned the same way and reached out to people via SMS, Twitter, Facebook, it would have made a difference? Do you think so?
Definitely. We can see like people over here, I mean, whomever I meet, I ask, they are like mostly the follower of Modi. And why is it? Just because I can say 5 years back, Modi's fan were not there. So many people were not there like followers of Modi. Now it's because of Facebook, the page is there, Modi's page, and so many Twitter and all the time it's flashing on Facebook, Twitter. So it's all Modi, Modi, Modi. And
so social media has helped create, it has helped to be a great advertising agent for at least Narendra Modi. We can all say that for sure. But I also wanted to talk to all of you about, does social media need to be regulated in today's time? Yeah. Anyone who's not spoken at all? Yeah.
The people who are unaware about some topics, they go on these social networking sites and read about the comments that people are making, and sometimes without knowing the original issue, and form their own opinions about those topics. There's a lack of sensitivity, because when you're behind a computer, you can say anything you want, and nobody knows you, so you won't be judged on the basis of that. And people need to actually know things and be a bit sensitive towards the topic, and need to form their own opinions, not on the basis of other people, and be a bit more sensitive.
Right. So it has to start from an individual level.
From individual level,
very,
yes.
Very good comment over there. Anyone else who thinks that media does need regulation or does not need regulation at all? It's just fine the way it is.
I certainly feel that there should be some regulation. Young as 10, 12 years old are on Facebook and they do not know how to utilize it. I would say they are exploiting it in a way, and they come across things that they shouldn't be at that age. So in a way, social media should have some regulations about age, and other than that, what I personally feel is people should stop documenting each and everything, each and every thought that they have, or anything that they feel, they just document it on social media. That should be regulated. That is what
but that's freedom of speech, really. Many people would say. You want to say something?
I wanted to add that there are people who are documenting it, but then there is a brighter side to it. There are a lot of issues which are getting, provoked and highlighted because of social media, and that is one good thing. And there is one, benefit to social media, that we can speak anything we want.
Right.
The other sources, we can't go up and say what we want. So we can even put the better opinions which we want.
Right. In that sense, one can say, I'm sure you all must have heard of countries where sites like the Facebook and Twitter are banned and people cannot actually go on and write and say whatever they want. Perhaps more good than bad can come out of voicing your opinion, because a lot of people really would know what's happening. Anyone else who thinks that, we should have no Facebook, no Twitter, no blogs, no social media at all, and would say why? You all are in favor of that. All right, so in a sense we must agree that the change that we are seeing today is happening for the best. But what would you say to the countries where it's banned? We have an edge over them certainly, but what if tomorrow India comes to a point where we have to actually ban these social media network websites because people are not sensitive enough? Yeah.
I don't think the freedom of speech has been completely given to us on social media.
Okay.
But if it is banned, only thing will happen is we will the youth precisely won't be that aware or won't be that much into politics that they are right now.
Okay, or maybe they come up with something better. The youth of the day, they keep coming up with new ideas of their own. But we have come to a conclusion that everyone agrees that social media is very important, bringing awareness, especially about politics and even other matters. But there is a need to be extremely sensitive about what we post and how we, put across what we think out in a way that other people get educated and not misguided. Thank you all very much for being a part of this episode of Campus Debate. We'll be back with another edition very soon. This is me, Sana Khan, signing off.